Why do 90% of hackers swear by CounterSurveil? Let's dive in and find out. In the labyrinthine world of cyberspace, every click leaves a trace. But with CounterSurveil, you become the unseen. Our podcast takes you deep into the heart of hacking, where firewalls crumble and secrets unravel. From white hat heroes to shadowy code warriors, we cover the spectrum. Join us on Iron Geek, your portal to mastering the art of stealth and strategy. Discover the tools, the tricks, and the tales that define the modern hacker. Tune in and transform from a curious novice into a digital legend. This is CounterSurveil. Unmask the unknown.
Tune into the sound waves, secrets of the dark maze, dark codes in the nighttime, information, no lines. Whispering in the spotlight, chatting through the late night. Smart contracts are lying, auditing, verifying. CounterSurveil in my ear, security we engineer. Learn the truth, don't disappear. CounterSurveil, we're right here. Crypto dreams and data streams. Listen close, it's closer than it seems. Fix the flaws, see through the smog. CounterSurveil, join the blog.
Yeah, it's on the calendar. I think it's 1:30 on my calendar.
It is 1:30 on Delchai's calendar, who forgot to mute his microphone.
Welcome
to CounterSurveil podcast.
It was muted through your wonderful opening song, and I assumed it was staying that way.
Nope, that's not how it works.
Do you even podcast, bro?
Hey, do you even touch my buttons when I'm not looking? Yeah, okay.
I like pushing your buttons, Delchai. It's fun for me.
Yeah, I know. You've been doing it for a long time.
Only when I call that one number anyways.
Yeah, you push my buttons the right way.
Anyways, welcome to the CounterSurveil podcast.
So this week, we're going to be talking about D-Link end-of-life routers and what a clusterfuck that's going to be for everybody who's got one of those, who doesn't realize they've now got to go out and buy another router, because not only is it vulnerable to a bunch of 0 days, no more software updates for them. So D-Link has just abandoned all those people who bought routers that are only maybe 5 years old at this point. Screw those people. We don't support shit forever. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about Patch Tuesday, addressing 91 security flaws, including 4 0 days, 2 being actively exploited in the wild. We're going to be talking about Volt Typhoon, which is a Chinese state-sponsored hacking group that is rebuilding its KV botnet after law enforcement disrupted it back in January, as well as Iranian hackers targeting President Biden's campaign, attempting to share information stolen from Donald Trump's campaign. Ironic. And notable data breaches, we have I Been Pwned reported a major breach affecting 57 million Hot Topic, Box Lunch, and Torrid customer accounts. So if you like dressing like a goth, you are shit out of luck.
God, I'm fucked. There's no nice way to put it. Those are 3 of my favorite stories.
You know, it's funny. Do you know what all 3 of those things have in common? Because that is kind of scary.
Bad fashion.
Hot Topic and Torrid and Box Lunch. I mean, would you want to put those 3 things together? Because I sure wouldn't.
I mean, I can think of a few outfits I can make between the 3 of those places.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, but that's mall goth. I mean, mall goth is long since gone.
Well, you can't all be real vampires, man.
I stopped going to Hot Topic when they stopped selling vinyls.
I will tell you all the dirt you want on that quote-unquote real vampire shit.
I want you to tell me all about Father Sebastian, but not till later in the cast.
Oh, God, no. No, that's just a no-go.
Worth a
Let's
shot.
not get demonetized, guys. We're not even making money.
Amazon confirmed a data breach involving employee information linked to May 2023 MoveIt IT attacks. Those were that FTP server with an SQL vulnerability, if you remember. And Halliburton, that big-ass company that's involved in all the war profiteering, disclosed a $35 million loss following an August ransomware attack that forced system shutdowns. We've got about, a couple of new Oracle vulnerabilities that CISA has released information about. And Microsoft has disclosed a high-severity Exchange server vulnerability, enabling attackers to forge legitimate sender emails. Another one. We're also going to talk about Apple implementing a new security feature in iOS 18 that automatically reboots your phone if you leave it idle for too long to enhance data protection. It is not to make sure that their software that they're installing on your phone can get permanently put there. We have the FBI, NSA, and Five Eyes intelligence agencies have released their top 15 routinely exploited vulnerabilities for the last year. Included on that list, of course, is all these fun things that we're going to get into. Palo Alto also warned companies about a potential RCE vulnerability in their next generation firewalls management interface. Another reason you shouldn't be forwarding your firewalls management interface to the internet. And we got some notable cybercrime activities where North Korean actors are targeting Apple Mac OS systems using Trojanized Notepad and Minesweeper games. Yeah, let's get his Notepad on pop a Mac.
Minesweeper.
And Minesweeper. Yep. A new ransomware family called Ymir has emerged, targeting systems previously compromised by Rusty Stealer. And scammers are targeting British seniors with fake winter heating allowance and cost of living support schemes, which is just top of the scumbag pile right there. So what do you guys want to jump into first?
Good question.
Probably the D-Link one, since it's on the tippy top of my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're D-linked to disaster.
So, I haven't seen an article on it. Do you have one that we can pull up?
Yeah, let me pull it up.
But in the meantime, when things like this happen with like routers, let's say I'm assuming they're the wireless routers. This is a good opportunity for people to buy a couple for cheap and learn how to do Wi-Fi hacking and stuff against them.
Yeah. I mean, I tend to hit the thrift shop once a week and clear out any routers they've got there.
Yeah.
That's for the shits and giggles. And also I use them over at the Integrity show when we're doing the router workshop. So it's useful to have them. Let me share my screen. Let's do a Chrome tab and share. And there we go. So we've got researchers have released an exploit for a zero-day security flaw in a family of D-Link routers that can allow attackers to take over the devices and execute commands as root. The SSD Secure Disclosure Team of researchers released the proof of concept exploit for a flaw associated with the HNAP login requests from D-Link DIR X4860 routers. This security vulnerability allows RCE to anybody that can access the HNAP port to gain elevated privileges and run commands as root. The most serious flaw results from lack of proper implementation of the authentication algorithm. This is SOAP-based. We all know how stupid it is to still be using SOAP instead of XML nowadays, but they're using
still dirty
SOAP.
even if you use SOAP.
That's a good one. Lack of proper implementation of the authentication algorithm. No response and no patch.
This is actually a fairly new router.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Like,
it's not like
you
an
still
ancient
see these
one.
on the shelves.
I see someone's taking a play out of Apple's book.
We don't want to fix it. Go buy a new one.
Careful of that. Y'all will get sued.
So they provided a step-by-step process for bypassing the authentication and then exploiting the HNAP flaw. First step is to send a specially crafted HNAP login request and await a response. And then it's going to return the response data, challenge, cookie, and public key. Then they can take these values, import them into their browser, and be logged in as admin. Cookies used in the cookie header for all subsequent requests, and the challenge and public key are used to encrypt the password and generate the authentication token in the header. So we now have the ability to log in as the owner and admin of those routers with the root account over the internet. Fun times.
This is actually kind of cool. I want one to play with.
Well, just search Shodan, and you can have several other people's to play with.
Exactly. I'll have somebody else's router.
Now we got another write-up here from Zero Day Initiative. Those are the Google folks, I believe. ZDI. Could be wrong. So they talk about Adobe. Who the hell is still running Adobe? Anyway.
Especially as they do the subscription shit these days.
Adobe what? Because a lot of people still use Adobe products. God knows, you work with any state, you got to use the Adobe electronic signing software.
Yeah, we're gonna go over the hash spoofing vuln and the Kerberos RCE as well. But the one we wanted to talk about is the D-Link one on here, and I think they've got a write-up on. Gotta find it. I'm gonna do Control F with D-Link. There's no D-Link. Router. There's nothing. Literally, there's a Google search result too here, and they don't even mention that. But they mention a bunch of other good shit I want to come back to now. So I'm just gonna clone this tab here and duplicate it so that I can come back to it, and then I'm gonna go back because that was garbage that they don't even have it on there. Well, and it's listed in the search results, but I'm sure good old Bleeping Computer, when I click their link, will actually lead me to the article, as opposed to redirecting me to a different web page. So this is very much the same as the last article, but with screenshots now.
Huh. So I guess one thing we could kind of go back and forth on would be the idea that companies do this fairly often. Just up, instead of fixing it, up, go buy a new one.
Yeah, well, this is related as well. D-Link won't fix critical bug in 60,000 exposed end-of-life modems.
Oh, they're modems too?
Yep. So tens of thousands of D-Link routers have reached the end of their life and are vulnerable to critical security issues that allow unauthenticated RCE to change any user's password and take complete control of the device. This was discovered in D-Link DSL 674OC modem by security researcher Stephen Miao, who reported it to Taiwan's Computer and Response Center. It's worth noting this device was not available in the U.S. and reached its end of life at the beginning of the year. So at least it's not affecting U.S. citizens.
I wonder how many ISPs are using that.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. They like to buy the cheapest thing they can buy and then rebrand it under their own name. I wouldn't be surprised if a few are. It's DSL, though, so it's fairly limited. Like, we don't see too many DSL modems out nowadays. But the fact that there's 60,000 of them and they're not going to create a patch is pretty messed up. And
well,
let's
also keep in mind that, you know, DSL is still the hotness in some underdeveloped countries.
I use it as a backup for if my fiber goes down.
I mean, it's one thing to sit here and say, you know, oh, DSL, yeah, that's like ISDN. But, you know, so there are people out there in the world that don't have fiber to their doorstep yet. And this leaves them vulnerable.
Still on the D-Link train, and yes, I agree with you there, Delchai. We've got a critical bug in their NAS devices as well.
Oh, they're having a good month.
Yep. So this critical vulnerability, which also has publicly available exploit code, affects multiple models of the end-of-life D-Link NAS devices. This is also a command injection vulnerability. It was discovered by NetSecFish, who shared exploitation details and said unauthenticated attackers could exploit it to inject arbitrary shell commands by sending malicious GET requests to a vulnerable NAS system exposed online.
Okay. $64 question. Why the F would you put your NAS online?
I was just going to say that.
Okay.
So,
I mean,
Synology and a lot of these, they offer like a portal if you want to access your shit remotely. A lot of them will essentially host it and then
what?
like reverse
I have
shuttle.
a Synology. Okay.
Mhm.
and it lets you. What they're doing is they're stacking crap into the NAS. A NAS should be a NAS. Okay, it's network storage. That's it. You don't put Docker or Whaler or Jerk Me Offer into these things and then turn them into BitTorrent machines on top of a NAS, on top of this. It's like you're putting all this extra crap on there, okay? And then you have to expose it to the internet. And then there's your NAS with all your, cat pictures and celebrity nudes wide open to the network. It's
Well,
like, how
if
dumb do you
you
have to be
if
to
you do
take
want
a
to do all
network
that
storage
stuff,
device and give it to the world?
if you do want to do all that stuff, for instance, FreeNAS or Nextcloud, you can do that easily, but you got to set up a reverse proxy and run it through Cloudflare. You can do all sorts of stuff to secure it, but you can
Easy
do
is
it
not the word I would
properly.
use there. Okay.
But there is a way to do it properly. But
I
if you buy a
lost.
thing off the shelf and it's got a web server, by default, fucking disable that.
Well, I lost so much data to FreeNAS because it would crash and lock up and it would blow up this and blow up that and lose volumes. If you look at the thing the wrong way, okay, it just would eat shit and die. But I'll tell
Yep.
you, the funny thing is, Drobo, who has long since gone out of business, I have one of their 5-bay NASs. It's been running for 6 years now without a hitch.
That's where he hid the shell on his network.
No,
We made
that
our
thing
own.
doesn't
I got like
connect- that
we've
thing's
got
not connected to the network. The fuckery you did to my network was elsewhere. That's
I'm
just
joking.
connected by a USB port.
we made our own with ZF. I think it
ZFS?
ZFS,
Yeah.
XFS. I don't remember. It's that fancy one where it does the parity and everything by default.
Yeah,
Forget what file system that is.
I mean,
But we've
my
got
technology
three-
is rock solid, but you're
We've
gonna
got
spend
three
half-
2U servers full of hard drives. I think there's 80 some hard drives for that NAS.
You
It's
must have
pretty
quite
sweet.
the electricity bill.
Oh yeah, it's only like $800.
I guess you could call it a nasty bill.
Ah,
No,
Altkey, why is
technology
your picture
okay,
just
but-
a house without Altkey in it?
Oh, it's because I'm in my invisible boatmobile right now while streaming.
Ah,
Totally. It's not just I don't want to be on camera because I'm still in my pajamas and they're doggy pajamas.
that's
Hey,
even
some
more
people would
reason
pay
to
for
be on
that.
camera.
Exactly. That can't be on the free channel. You have to become a member.
It's gonna be on
Subscribe to our
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans security.
It's only Pones, but yeah.
Only bits.
It's, yeah, no, you have to be a gold member of our YouTube channel in order to see me in my doggy pajamas. That's the rule.
So yeah, D-Link is having a pretty bad week. We're seeing their NAS devices. They're not going to fix that bug. They got, so D-Link is kind of one company that's just an example of a bigger problem. It's Internet of Shit devices getting manufactured, put online, and then no longer supported.
Yeah,
where,
they're all these flaws are in EOL devices, right?
yeah, and a lot of the time,
maybe there's a financial advantage there. You want to spend $500,000 fixing it, or you want to just stamp EOL on it and make everybody buy new gear?
That's the conversation.
I know. What I'm saying is it's good for your bottom line.
Yep.
We're in the final quarter of the year. Blah, 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 Black Friday, Cyber Monday, yakety schmackety, beat my meat. I mean, they're gonna go where the profits are. They don't give a hoot in hell about security. They don't care. Anybody who wants to can go to Shodan and find any number of NAS devices where they can download everybody's everything. So, if there was any concern about security, they would make it a single flip switch. Or if people weren't so backwards ass, they would just make sure that their NAS isn't attached to the internet like their dishwasher and their microwave.
I did manage to get a shell on my friend's refrigerator once, and that was pretty fun.
Mine is
have
supposed
that
to be on
persistent
Wi-Fi, but I
coffee
can't figure
machine.
out what it's supposed to be doing.
Oh, well, probably giving me persistence through IoT device because persistence through coffee machine is one of my personal office favorites.
My friend Click had a refrigerator that could run any Android app, so I side loaded a malicious one and got He was
Oh,
happy
mine
about that.
doesn't do that, but that would be a lot of fun. I was walking through Home Depot one day and somebody put Pornhub on one of the fridges.
Well, I found my Saturday afternoon plans.
That was pretty fun. And then I'd wait till Click was asleep, and then I'd remote into his refrigerator and just make it blast cat sounds, and he'd get up and like look where the fuck his cats are. It was great.
Mine only has network access, so it can communicate with the power company. So it like talks to the power company to reduce power and measure it, something like that.
Mhm.
It's some weird protocol.
That is a bunch of hoo-ha.
Yeah, I don't use it.
No,
I was like, this is dumb.
I've worked on that system. And you know what they want to be able to do? The power company, and they do this in Vegas. What they will do is they will offer you a discount on your power bill if you let them connect to all the shit in your house. And then during peak usage times, they will remote in and change the settings on your devices. They started with air conditioners. When we had stupid high 115-degree heat, if you were in a certain area of town and you weren't getting that, let's say you were only 110 and not 115, they would remote in and change your air conditioning from like 75 to turn on at 75 to turn on at 78.
Mm-hmm.
And they would do this over hundreds of users. And then they would take the power that wasn't going there and they would divert it downtown where it was 115 and everyone had their air conditioner set to 65. And you can say to yourself, well, yeah, but I can override that if I want. But if you do that, you instantly lose your bonus, your extra savings.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was like at the time, it was like your extra savings only kicked in once a year. Like at the end of the year, you got a rebate bonus or something. So like
I get like a $30 check. Woo.
It's like they're doing this for a reason. And the thing is, way back in the good old days of the internet, back in the 2000s, I wrote something about this. And not only can they remote control shit, okay? But let's get the tinfoil hat for a minute, okay? Everybody put on your Alex Jones underwear. And it's difficult. It's hard to wiretap people. Because number one, you got to get your court order. You got to get the police involved. You got to not be at home. They got to go into your house, put the little microphone inside of your plants, and put a camera inside of the head of the shower head, right, and all that. Now you don't have to. You got iOS, Internet of Shit. Everything in your house is internet connected. They can just remote in and go, oh, by the way, turn on this microphone. Your refrigerator is now listening to you, and they know that you're beating off while watching Nigella Lawson how to cook videos.
And you can't do shit.
Awfully
You
specific
read
there,
the
Del.
terms of service, right?
Yeah, and the thing is, not only did you read the term of service and they shrink wrap you, but on top of that, you can't do anything about it. You can't. There's no button to say don't let them do this. We made people voluntarily submit themselves for wiretapping.
And people
Pretty
who
much.
think that iOS is more secure should go read that EULA.
People who
Now,
think they're limiting what they do with the information should read the EULA.
There was a guy on YouTube I was watching a while ago who was taking apart the power meters and figuring out how that mesh networking worked. That was pretty interesting shit if I could find it again.
There's also people who wrap their meters in tinfoil.
I've
seen, well, I can't say I've seen it, but I've heard a bunch of people that could use like software-defined radios to intercept that mesh network and look at the traffic.
Yep,
Yeah,
I've seen that as well.
He was showing how you could get the cult. Sorry.
I've seen them use it to jam it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was showing how you could join one of those networks by intercepting the code that's essentially broadcast very frequently that allows you to add a new device to the network. And then once you have a device on there, how you can screw with other devices. It was kind of cool shit. I gotta find him. That guy was pretty impressive.
Can we roll back the meter?
That's the question he would not answer, but I believe you can.
Do not try this at home.
Yeah.
Or do try it at home, but don't say that we sent you.
Don't get caught.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go through my history to find that, and it's not being very cooperative right now. So I'll find it another time. But yeah, that was some cool shit that guy was doing. He had essentially his whole channel was just about like taking apart different power meters from different parts of the world and like looking at how they communicate and then figuring out ways to fuck with them.
You should find him and let's have him on.
That's a good point. Maybe I should.
Absolutely, that would be fun. Plus, he could give me some horrible, evil ideas to use my new hack RF for.
Oh yes, yes, indeed. Smart meter reverse engineering. Yeah, this is him. It's RECESSIM. So I can put him up here on this tab, and then you guys should be able to see it in the channel there. Yeah, this is the guy who I used to watch. He's pretty impressive, man. The shit he's done. His videos tend to be a bit long, but very cool shit. That's him.
Racism. How do you spell that?
He's got good taste of ties.
ESSIM. Yeah, he does have good ties. He doesn't want to get too tied down, you know.
Got to keep the patterns light.
Yeah, I'll reach out to this guy, see if he wants to hop on.
He has running Doom on a toothbrush. Where has this guy been all my life?
That is pretty funny. I got it to run on an ATM. Does that count?
Yeah.
I'm still trying to get it to run. Never mind. I can't say that in chat.
That's always a joke. When somebody's working on hardware, be like, okay, that's cool and all, but can it run Doom?
I got tired of that joke, so I just started making it run Doom first.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. We got a couple other things to talk about. So North Korean threat actors are targeting Apple Mac OS systems using this Trojanized notepad and Minesweeper. So that's pretty interesting. What else do we got?
Did you say Mac and Minesweeper? Because I didn't know they made Minesweeper for Mac.
That's why. It was like that's why they picked it. It was like
for someone to be affected by that, they would have to like go through all the security checks and everything and just allow from any website or whatever that setting is in Mac. Because it can't be in the App Store.
Is Minesweeper that popular? Like, I'm sure there's.
Oh yeah, there's a certification for it.
What?
Haven't you ever heard of an MCSE? Minesweeper Certified Solitaire Expert.
You son of a bitch! I can't believe I walked into that one.
You know, you got me.
So apparently, it's a Trojanized Minesweeper clone, right? And it's not all that impressive now that I'm looking at it, but it somehow made the news this week. We also have, let's see, this new ransomware family called Ymir that's emerged, targeting systems previously hitting that Rusty Stealer group. And looks like that one, the article's far enough down that it's not on the front page anymore. So I'm not going to deal with bothering to cover that. But what I will do is take Bleeping Computer, and I'm going to paste that over into the tab that you guys are looking at. And now, so we got some shit to talk about from here. So Fraud Network uses 4,700 fake shopping sites to steal credit cards. Those are fun. This is a Chinese threat actor. CISA warns more Palo bugs are being exploited. Always going after Palo because it is one of the more expensive firewalls.
And after the whole lampshade head thing, everyone should be going after them.
Indeed. New glove info stealer malware bypasses Chrome's cookie encryption.
Oh.
Hacker got 10 years in prison for extorting a U.S. healthcare provider. Guy from Idaho. 10 years for hacking at least 19 orgs, stealing personal data of 132,000 people, and multiple extortion attempts.
I wonder what
a dick.
fail got him caught.
Yeah, what a dick. Leave the hospitals alone.
Right? Like,
Agreed.
go after something like student loans. I mean,
Well-
nothing. I'm not encouraging this activity at all.
It all depends on where the money is.
Looks like ChatGPT's containerized environment is open to a limited yet extensive access to core instructions while allowing arbitrary file uploads and command execution within the isolated sandbox. That's why we keep telling everybody, don't upload your freaking work documents to ChatGPT with all the company and private information in them, because you can't trust who's going to get them, even if they say they're not going to use them for training.
You know what's even worse than that? And I say this because I've had to kick somebody in the happy place for it. SOC analysts who dump logs into ChatGPT and say, what does this mean?
I know a few of those.
Mm-hmm.
So let's pause for a second. What do you guys think about the Broadcom and VMware thing going on right now?
So they made some stuff free for everybody, and they decided to start charging corporations, I think, 10 times as much for their renewals. It's like they're just trying to kill the product at this point. I don't know why they bought it, if their plan was just to bill everybody up the asshole for it. And then I really don't understand their business plan. They just seem to get pissed off most of the internet.
Do you remember when Microsoft bought out Sidekick?
No.
Okay, many, many moons ago, when the continents were a different shape, there was this awesome little cell phone called a Sidekick.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that.
And it was a thing of beauty and fun, and people loved the shit out of it. And they were buying that instead of the Microsoft cell phone, which sucked more than Nickelback. And so what Microsoft did was they bought Sidekick. They bought them out completely. Then they changed the network to the point where you had to buy a new Sidekick, which was based on their OS, destroyed half the features, made the thing suck, and then they raised the prices on it and killed it. And Sidekicks only worked a certain way in certain conditions, and next thing you know, it was gone. They basically bought their competition, took a giant shit in the punch bowl, and then said, hey, buy ours instead.
Man, if Broadcom's doing that, they'd better make it way better than VMware, because Workstation Pro, it's pretty baller.
Well, it's driving people to go to that. What's that other virtual hypervisor thing?
Proxmox.
Proxmox and Hyper-V.
People I know are moving to Proxmox because of this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's forever been the case that VMware's workstation product was extremely easy to crack. You could literally just do a Google search and type github.com:/ and then just look for freaking VMware workstation, and you would find a bunch of keys, and you just paste one in, and the damn thing would work, and it would never bother you. And that was the way it was forever. And I imagine probably more people pirated it than bought it. Their solution to that was to make it incredibly hard to find the actual installer, where they put it behind a paywall just to log in to be able to download the damn product, which was probably the dumbest thing. And Broadcom has kept that tradition alive for some fucking reason. But in answering your question, Sledge, I think that they probably made Workstation free retroactively for everybody because they are aware most people just pirate it anyway, and they are focusing what little assets they have left in terms of the developers who are still there working on the product on the ESX line of stuff, the level 1 hypervisors and the vSphere stuff. And they have definitely really increased the shit out of the pricing on that to make it not something that's really affordable for anybody who's not like a Fortune 100, which is why a lot of people are now trying to learn other hypervisors.
Yeah, that's why I moved to Prox, because I had a student account with their student thing. I forget what it's called, but it was like $200 a year for a license key to everything. So I would have ESXi, vSphere, all that in my lab. But now that that's expired, I don't want to pay for it anymore. So Proxmox it is. And I brought it up because what you were saying, some friends of mine just today were Googling around doing that Google Dork thing. And hey, they found their personal VMware key in a GitHub repository.
Yep. It's not surprising. I imagine the generator itself only has so many permutations of keys that it can make. So if you were just pasting a bunch of random ones on GitHub that your generator made, you might just accidentally post one that somebody else has bought. So I digress.
Side tangent, if anybody needs cheap license keys for just about anything, Kingwin.com is baller.
Yeah, G2A is pretty good too.
Anyways.
Yeah. I like using them for Steam CDs, CD keys, and then I activate a game. I usually pay a lot less for it that way. Definitely.
When I'm in a pinch and can't find a Windows license key, I'll go to Kingwin. Be like, oh, $5, sure.
Yeah, it's good for that too. I've never had an issue with a key I got off of there or on G2A. They're both kind of the same kind of website.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine if you're running a company, though, you probably shouldn't be buying your Windows keys off of Kingwin. A lot of the times they're like educational reseller keys.
Nobody will ever know. We can get away with it.
Until somebody calls the SBA when you fire them. And then you get fined $1 billion and your company goes under.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I know anybody who's ever called the SBA on somebody, but it definitely does happen. It seems they give out rewards.
There was a time where people were always like, you would get warnings saying if you see counterfeit software, call SBA or call somebody and you'll get $100 or something like that. I haven't seen that in a while.
It's a good point. I mean, I don't know if they're even still active, honestly. It's been a few years since I heard of them, but that was definitely a thing for a while. Altkey, you wouldn't download a car, would you?
I mean, maybe someone else's.
Delta, you got that song, the Jose Juarez song? Hello, Delta. I imagine.
Yeah, which one?
The Jose Juarez one.
Yeah, there's a whole album.
All right, pick one.
Okay. Well, we're getting near Christmas. How about Jose Juarez is coming to town?
Pop it on.
Oh, I'm not rigged. I'll give me a second. I'll get it. Well, you got all hissy fit at me last time when I was playing songs, so I took that off of my mixer.
How dare you?
Well, how dare you get all pissy because I was playing music?
Dude, I'm pissy in general. It's not anything to do with
well,
the
that's
music.
because you're married. So
I
let's
am.
see.
I am not married.
We the Hackers, Jose Juarez, you're our friend of mine. Have a Jose Juarez Christmas. Actually, the other ones are just tangentially associated. Like Demon Seed is coming to town.
Let's hear the Jose Juarez Christmas song.
Oh, give me a moment. Oh, hell. I'll tell you what. I will. Come here. This is like trying to rate This is like trying to run music on Linux.
Ever tried installing NVIDIA drivers on Linux?
Oh God! Don't even get me started. There you go. I just shot it to you. You can play it. I undid my audio routing so that you wouldn't complain anymore, and now I got to redo it. So you can use that link and play it on your end while I get my shit fixed.
Did you send it in the private chat? Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Get your shit together.
My shit was together. School mom over here was the one slapping my wrist for playing music. So.
Working on it. And go present. Screen share. Do a Chrome tab.
So the Onion bought InfoWars. I almost thought that was a Babylon Bee article.
Do you know about West trading? Hey, learn about your friend Jose. In 1987, I told the founding members all sat down and elected a courier that's known the world around. The worst scene was just starting out inside this great country. And so the hackers spelled it out. They wanted software to be free. And they put his name on the BBS and declared him the first courier to the United States. He has been helping us run wares ever since. The declaration became the constitution of all wares trading, and it went like this. We the hackers, in order to form a more perfect network, establish trading and ensure an elite registry. Provide distribution defense, promote the general trading stance, and secure software that is free for ourselves and our progeny.
This was totally AI.
Not though. He paid someone to sing it.
Wait, he did what?
Yeah, this is 0% AI. No AI.
America. In 1987, I'm told our founding members all sat down inside a Texas slaughterhouse and laid some rules down. The worst scene was just starting out across the whole country. And so the hackers spelled it out. We wanted software that was free. And the declaration went like this. We the hackers, in order to form a more perfect network, establish trading and ensure an elite registry. Provide distribution defense, promote the general trading stance, and secure software that is free for ourselves and our progeny to ordain and establish Jose Ware's courier for the United States of America, for the United States of America.
I want to see it live.
Yeah, there was no AI used in that. I wrote the lyrics and I hired somebody off of Fiverr.
Nice.
Shit, I could have swore that was AI.
Yep, nope, 0% AI. What I did was, for those
No,
of
the
you who
chick
are,
on Fiverr used AI.
the
It was 7 years ago. There wasn't Suno back then.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Oh,
also, basically, for those of you who aren't old enough to know, that was based off the song about the Constitution that Schoolhouse Rock did back in the 70s.
Mhm.
So what I did was I grabbed the karaoke version of the song, sent it to a person on Fiverr, gave them the lyrics, and they sang it for me.
I'm
Nice.
hearing like some background of a chick talking from somebody's mic.
yeah, and it ain't mine.
Yeah, it was cool that you were able to get your own music produced that you wrote the lyrics to based on the song from the stupid video they made us watch in school. You did a bunch of other really cool shit with music back in the day. And I really did like when you were doing GothCon at DEF CON. That was a cool fucking experience. You did good stuff, man. Good on you. Somebody get the video of the chick that we were gonna rant and rage about. Even though it's a little political, just because it was so retarded. Somebody go grab that and put it in the freaking private link.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Yeah, same.
Oh, so there was this video going around about this chick talking about how she's a CISSP, I believe. Or no, she's a what was it, man? She's like a network engineer of some type with a certification, and she was spouting a bunch of nonsense that made no sense. Nobody remembers this. We were talking about it earlier in one of the freaking chats.
I saw it, but I don't remember.
Man,
it's been a busy day.
Boo. You
know what chat it would have been in?
Probably InfoSec articles discussion. I gotta go look up in this chat and try and find it as I'm trying to bullshit and stall for time. Not very well, mind you.
Yeah, we are kind of quiet today.
Rock, paper, scissors, alt key?
No, I think we should do Rochambeau for shots.
I was going to say, if anybody's watching has some in-depth experience with resin 3D printers, I could use some help.
Oh, God, yeah. Hey, I tell you what. Right now, there's a massive sale on over at Bamboo, and I grabbed an X1 Carbon, and it is the shit.
Yeah, I want one of those bad.
They're stupid cheap right now.
I've got an Ender 3D or Ender Pro with all the bells and whistles, third-party stuff. It kind of works. And then
it
a Halo
sort of
Sky.
works on days that end in the letter Q.
Yep. And then I got a Halo Sky XL for resin. And for some reason, it won't stick to the build plate, but it's not the typical reasons you would expect. It was working just fine until I put a new build plate on there. And now nothing will stick. Like, I'm expecting at least a failed print or to stick to the FEP, but it's like not doing anything. So now I'm starting to think the UV light might need replaced, or the glass underneath needs to be taken off and scraped or replaced or something.
It's always something. 3D printing is a great way to like destroy an entire weekend with tinkering.
It's right. Takes you a month just to freaking dial it in.
She took the video down. It was Kremlin trolls on Twitter, and it was something that Delchai had posted on his X account.
Internet Archive.
Really?
What about Kremlin trolls, you said?
Yeah, I wonder Archive would have that, actually.
You can't delete things from the internet. Somebody's got it.
Oh, you mean that woman who was trying to talk about cybersecurity and was like doing word salad and vomit?
Yeah, that.
Oh my God, that is so funny.
It's not available on the web. Not archived.
Somebody had to have downloaded it. We'll just have to wait.
Somebody's got to get it.
Oh, I saw it. It's showing up on Blue Sky now, and I'm just like, no, because you have to go into the bias in your computer, and I'm like, no. But you know, she does give CISSPs a good name if it's possible. I'm a CISSP, and I know what I'm talking about when I say that the votes are not being counted because Linux doesn't work that way with Skynet.
Yeah, it was something along that level of word salad too. It was like,
it was actually an example of. I thought it was AI at first because it was getting so many things wrong.
Oh, that's just ow.
Nowadays, if it gets too many things right, we think it's AI.
Jeebus. Yeah, I had to tell several friends of mine, like, do not listen to this. Do not take this seriously. My final comment on it was, this is the sort of thing they make you watch in Gitmo. It was like, remember that episode of Family Guy where like a couple of guys got locked in the basement and they were watching the Help channel for DirecTV?
Oh.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it was that kind of painful.
We can't make our viewers suffer through it, unfortunately.
Well, I think I'd like to think that we like our viewers more than to make them watch that. You know, like when Arthur Dent runs into the automated tea machine, and the machine says, "If you like this, why don't you share it with your friends?" And he says, "Because I'd like to keep them."
We could all have a trauma bond together.
I like the trauma bond once in a while. So I have some friends, and their only purpose of keeping me as a friend is so they can trauma dump and trauma bond. They never reach out to me for anything else.
Aww.
Sad. That's just me trauma dumping about them right now.
I see what you did there.
Hey, I'll tell you what. If you really want to have some fun, go back to that SoundCloud page on the Jose Juarez album and play the last track.
You got it.
I sent it to you a long time ago for the closing of the show.
Did we have any more articles to go over? We could kill like 5 more minutes.
Oh, there's always tons of articles to go over, but most of the stuff out there this week has not been all that wonderful.
Just same old shit.
You know, same shit, different flies. You know, there's a lot of stories about how tech companies are going to shit the bed because of the impending tariff doom. And there was like 2 companies I read about that laid off a bunch of people so they would have extra money to buy a year's worth of supplies to build their product because they're afraid of the impending tariffs and the prices going through the roof, which of course is going to happen. But, you know, it's funny that people seem to think that the prices are either going to stay the same or go down. And, you know, your midnight Walmart Rush 55-inch $800 TV is only going to be, more expensive now because if that comes true.
And then we need to buckle up because it's Q4, getting close to Christmas. This is normally when we start seeing all the juicy exploits drop.
Ooh, yeah.
So this one was pretty interesting.
Not to mention everybody going out and, tapping and swiping their credit cards on Temu for their latest little toy.
Oh, God. Yeah.
They have that app really should be illegal. I'm not talking like because it's got good deals or they have these really horrible advertising. It literally requests every permission from your phone. It's stealing all your data, and that's why the items are so cheap. You're paying for it with your data. It's like if something's free, you're the product. Well, this is where they're like, we're going to charge you something, but the product is us getting all your freaking data off your phone.
I got to find this guy. There's a guy on Instagram who is absolutely, there he is. Hang on a second. I'm going to drop you this guy's info. There's this guy on Instagram who buys all the products that you find online, like on Temu, and he proves that they're all shit.
I've bought 2 things from there.
Here's
all garbage.
There's the link right there. This guy on Instagram is so amazing because, like, he shows the video of how great the product is, and then he buys it and he does an open box reveal and he shows you how it's just complete ass.
It's like I bought a knife sharpener and the advertisement was a full-size knife sharpener. And I get it, and it's a freaking toy the size of a Hot Wheels car. I was like, what the hell is this?
I need this on my desk right
That
now.
hundreds of followers are asking me to review. It's a humidifier that blasts out smoke rings like a mini cannon. All right, let's now test. Let's switch on. It's got a warm ambient light, and you can switch it to blue for the summer.
Ooh, it's got RGB.
Oh, here comes the smoke ring. So cute. It smells amazing.
What the hell?
Well, grab one of the ones that fail. Almost everyone fails.
What the? I need it on my desk now. Woo! This is a super viral pewter that hundreds of followers are asking me to review. Advertisement says it can peel almost anything in just 5 seconds. All right, let's try a potato first. Here we go. Not as good as I thought. Let's try a kiwi this time.
Not bad. We're gonna call this a reaction video so YouTube doesn't strike us. This is a reaction video. Best straightening brush.
What the? I need it on my desk now! Ooh! This is the next level magic brush. It transforms your curls into sleek, shiny straight hair in just one stroke. Alright, indicator says ready, and let's now test. Give it one stroke. Wait, still curvy. Let me do it again from the inside out. And slowly. Wait, what? Is it not hitting?
Start your house on fire.
Iron Man glasses.
Here, your daughter's on the phone.
I'm supposed to put these on?
Yeah, your daughter's on the phone.
Yeah, these actually worked out pretty well.
I need it on my desk now! Woo! These super cool glasses make you feel like Iron Man with Jarvis. You can make calls and listen to music with this by just touching the arms. Alright, let's now test. Picking up? Hello? Can you hear me? Is my voice clear? Oh, this is crazy!
Huh. Interesting find. Manual iPhone charger. Is that going to destroy the phone?
What the? I need it on my desk now! Woo! This is a super fun emergency phone charger that needs no power.
Oh,
it lets you crank this handle to generate
not good.
electricity to charge your phone. All right, let's now test. Let's go. I think we need some more speed. I'll be right back. There we go. Let's try it
I knew he
again.
was going to do that.
And let's go. Something's wrong with my cable?
I like that. That's good shit. I like Electro Boom myself for
Oh, yeah,
the
he's
kind of
good.
videos he does. That's pretty great. So I could watch this guy get shocked all day long and still just be like
It's always
put on
still
more,
funny.
you know?
So yeah, I guess it's safe to touch. Ow, ow! The hell? It's supposed to be isolated, but I can still feel it. Damn it! Wasn't much though. Ouch! I'm not even on ground. Why am I feeling this? Ow, ow! I feel it a little bit. It's zapping me.
So I connect my potentiometer between. Till the breaker pops.
What?
It's midnight.
This time the power is not coming back up? I think this time the breaker outside in the hallways popped. I have to call someone again. Nobody's gonna know.
They're gonna know.
I'm sure his landlord loves
I
him.
lost the sole of my shoe here, but nobody's gonna know. Then we stab soil with it, and if you're lucky enough to stab a piece of metal, there is just some debris. You have to search a very small area every time you stab. At least they're smart enough to use a battery. Anyway, we plug it in. That's why they glue the cord together tight. Otherwise, it wants to fly apart. And now we can detect metal. My breaker popped. Everything to a 12-volt power supply. And if I turn the knob... What the... Every year, many people lose their lives to motor-related accidents. Probably. I don't know. Just be careful. I want to cut myself.
That guy's great. So I digress.
All
I'm out
right.
of shit to really talk about. So let's call it a cast. And
Not
unless you guys
terrible
have
for
some-
winging it.
Like, unless
Yeah.
y'all want to go on about Freaknik, you know, the conference. I
Oh,
just
dude,
went
you should talk about Freaknik. I heard you gave
Okay.
quite the talk.
Well, I ended up actually giving two. So first talk, Grey Hat web scraping went over quite good. I went up to the stage, 7 beers, like half a bottle of Malort, multiple shots of something else, some jungle juice, and several seltzers in. And then they kept handing me alcohol the entire time I was on stage, so 10 out of 10 would talk again. I'm surprised I was not slurring my words. I'm surprised my talk was actually usable, might as well good. But later on, I was handed this phone, and when someone hands me a phone, they know they have damned the owner of that phone to phone hell. I have a reputation for making Android and iOS users quite nervous when I'm holding their devices, for good reason. So, I go through and I do a very, very basic pin bypass to get to like the full alerts, the full notifications. Because if you go through some of the smart home features, you can bypass that. And oh look, I know what they bank with. Those are beautiful pictures of their kid, every bit of their YouTube watch history, several messages on Signal, like their whole like everything. And even funnier, so I go to the owner of the conference. I'm like, hey, so we need to get this phone back to its owner. And he's like, yeah, sure. Looks around. He's like, I didn't find anyone. Why don't you do a talk on this phone and get more and more invasive until someone admits they own it? And I'm like, that's a great idea. So I go up to do a lightning talk, and I just start like going through every single one of these notifications. And the guy who owns the phone was right there in the front row, like, yeah, teach that dumbass a lesson. Woo! He was wasted out of his mind, quite obviously. And I was going through his like Roomba settings, setting all the thermostats to 69, screwing the smart home everything that it would let me. And about an hour later, he comes back and he's like, Sir Vaxalot was my Roomba. My Roomba. What bank did you say that was again? Yeah. You could just cut to like the last few seconds where I'm screaming "Thank you, Freak Nick" with a mouthful of Malort.
All right, everyone.
Oh
Hi.
God,
How's your Freak Nick?
I sound horrible. I'm like, anyways. I was so drunk. But I had a great time. I remember most of the time. like I said, go ahead and kind of cut to the end where I get like completely wasted. There we go. There we go. This is where oh, you missed the thank you, Freak Nick, but
so you keep your prices down. By
so there's a Fed in here.
You have to load. Sometimes the mobile site will have a lot less data to load.
God, I'm trying not to slur.
Mobile user agents to trick them that you are on a mobile device. Sometimes if you disable JavaScript, you get an HTML version, scrape that version. Minimize how much data you're loading, because then you're minimizing how much cloud crap you're buying. If you can write your own scraper and just use the request library, unless you're using something that's already pretty optimized like scraping, do that.
Do it now.
For everything unless you have to, because it's very, very heavy. You don't want to have to spend more money on resources. And you will run into storage issues. We will be here all year if I have to go over storage. So I personally change my tactics according to what I'm scraping. But as I said before, I was running that on SQLite. You may want to learn SQL if you haven't. I just find it pretty easy. I could see someone stink-eyeing me from the crowd, so there's other alternatives. And closing. A lot of this came from r/web scraping. A lot of this came from war stories. Thank you for getting me started. If anyone in that community is in here, y'all chill. Freak Nick, you're the best. Oh my God. I can't get this slosh at any other conference and still give a talk. Y'all have not carried me off stage. Thank you. Before this. And shout out to the obvious Fed Boy. Thank you for taking notes. You are the first person to take notes.
He worked out of the room.
I have been consistently running low on time in practice at this point. So if anyone included, has questions, catch me outside. And finally, did this excite you? Do you want my skills on your team? Awesome. Pay me. I'll keep it up. If this scared you, you won't stop. Please hire me and I'll stop. Jones does not be.
She's lying. I hired her. She didn't stop.
It doesn't understand the economics.
That's only because she wanted me to keep it up.
Giggity.
Also, remember our Lord and Savior talks, because Windows is never an option. Thank you.
I bet right now John Pacific's wondering why you gave him a shout out.
Well, I keep it playing for just a second. You just a second.
Thank you, Brick.
For Malort. There we go. Had to make sure that last bit got in there. But yeah, no, obvious Fed Boy ran out of the room. He's like, nope. Yeah, that was amazing. That was funny.
Glass is inherent.
That's not me. He has a nice.
Yeah, you're not making unbreakable glass. I don't know why that auto played next.
Probably because obvious Fed Boy in the room probably could have used some. He got a cup thrown at him as he was running out. The cup was half full just to make it better. But anyways, Freak Nick was great. 10 out of 10. And if any of y'all are ever in the area, please stop by Freak Nick. It's amazing and I love it.
Say what area?
Oh yeah, the Nashville-ish area.
Okay.
Nashville-ish.
Yeah, Nashville-ish.
Like
we
Nashville.
can't afford actual Nashville.
Nice. Well, I appreciate your talk. Too bad they didn't put the other lightning talk up. I'd like.
Oh no, they did. They just made it
did?
shared. Yeah, they did. They just because it was really short because it was impromptu. They put it up with like 3 other lightning talks, but mine starts at 1337 seconds.
It's a good time to start.
Yeah, they did that on purpose, I swear. But the link is here, and I did send that over, and I'll send that in the chat real quick.
You should put your talks under your profile on the website.
Yes, you should.
Should I? Are they that good?
You should put your talks under the website.
All right. But yeah, mine was really short, so it was impromptu. And there's Ben, owner of the conference. Hi, Baldy. I mean, Ben.
She knows how to do some cool
Jacket's coming off. It's too hot in here.
I had to pull the jacket off for this one because we were getting serious.
Yeah, that works.
Oh, also, don't leave if you want some cool music from the.
And this is him like trying to lean into me, and I'm like, dude, I'm drunk. Fuck off.
I've got a spindle of like AOL 9 CDs I got to bring to a conference just to see if anybody takes them.
Like seriously, it's free. Play it.
Put your
It's great.
signature on them and
Now
make
you
it sound like you're some badass.
That's not what my lightning talk is about. Y'all want to see a phone hacked? Yeah.
And she puts it into dev mode, and it's a day.
Their phone. I believe we know the owner. Is this phone yours?
No.
Okay, then we don't know the owner. Good. I don't feel so bad about the bank account leak they're about to have. So, somebody left their phone at a hacker conference. Really? Y'all know better. Y'all know better. So, thing is, Android, relatively modern, running mid-mobile. Okay, great, cute, adorable. So, Android has an issue, and that is when you get these specialty kind of phones that are making their own images, no one ever actually thinks to double check how much of the notifications you can see before you enter your PIN.
Oh, yeah.
So
This gives me an idea. We should rewatch some of the talks on Iron Geek channel because they can't copyright strike us for something that's on the same channel.
Slide down. Okay, you see the basics. You got the flashlight, you got the mobile data, you got the vibrate. Cool, it's on vibrate. Great. That'll help them find it, I'm sure. But you see down here, you have device control home. Okay, we're gonna tap that. Yeah, let's tap that. Water view, interesting. Climate, 2 devices. Sir Vax-a-lot, amazing name for a vacuum. Like whoever this is, I want to be their friend. Thermostat, 67. Okay, and oh, their living room TV's playing something right now. Okay, cool, but this doesn't do us any good, right? Wrong. Swipe down. All their notifications right there. Oh, would you look at that? Gray still plays. Okay, someone likes GTA 5. Cool. Waze noticed someone was home at 8:06 p.m. They have a really nice house. Oh my God, this is an amazing neighborhood. And they spent $30 here at Freaknik. They bank with Chase. Any questions, comments, concerns? Oh, and their daughter's adorable. Rooted?
The GTA rooted sticker. And it's the GTA font.
Actually, no, they are. I think they're home.
You should you ever do an FRP bypass,
I
Alki?
think they're home, actually. Looks like they got home at 8:06.
All right.
And that is the end of my lightning talk. And now the audience is just doing the egg it on thing that they always do during the lightning talks.
So you ever play around with doing an FRP bypass on like an Android phone you got secondhand?
I've done
lock somebody's
something
account?
similar, but I don't remember like actively going out of my way, if that makes sense. Like I think I've done it, but it's been a minute.
A lot of the same tactics that you use when you're doing that, navigating the menus, screwing around, getting into places, and then like a lot of them involve getting into like doing a long press in the area where you do like configuring a proxy, things like that. A lot of those same techniques can be used to bypass the lock on an already like used phone that somebody's got that they've actively been using after a reboot. So it's like a lot of the same shit, a lot of the same tactics you can use to unlock somebody's phone that is locked legitimately. There's some cool shit in there.
I considered that, but I'm like, I don't know. I'm already uncomfortable enough digging because I've got the dude's bank account now. So
There you go.
I think I'm gonna end it here before I go to jail.
And to see if tap to pay works if you go up and
Oh no, I did.
drinks.
That's how he
great.
spent $30. I did, and I felt immediately guilty. And I'm like, okay, so I think I've had enough chaos, and I hope he likes his T-shirt.
Well done. I remember at SummerCon a few years ago, somebody brought some weird device and plugged it into the wall and nobody knew what the hell it was. So we all assumed it was something malicious. So I unplugged it and I stuck it in a drawer. And then the dude comes looking for his thing, and he's like, "Where's my thing?" And I'm like, "That weird little box you plugged into the wall with no explanation." Yeah, we took it. He's like, "I need it." I'm like, "Well, what the hell was it doing?" He's like, "It's just a battery charger." I'm like, "Don't look like a battery charger." He's like, I'll give it back to you, but you better not plug it in over here. He just walked out and never came back. Dude paid like $200 to come to that conference, and then never got, just left because we took his stupid thing off the wall.
Do you still have the thing?
No, I gave it back to him, man. I
Oh,
said
okay.
he walked off with it and then didn't come back in. I assume he was trying to fuck with people's like devices over Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, or at least do like an MC cacher type thing. I don't know what the hell. It was like a black box, It was anyhow. I digress. Oh,
Well,
HushCon's coming up. I can't talk about it though. It's all
yeah.
hush. It's December in San Francisco. Somewhere. You can figure it out. Somewhere in San Fran. That's where I left my heart, in San Francisco.
I always like TorCon out in San Diego, but that's not a thing anymore.
Why not?
I don't know. I guess they stopped doing it a few years ago. Now I think they're only doing Tor Camp.
I'm going to do a shameless plug now for integrity.show, which is Nathan and I, and hopefully Sledge and Altkey at some point, doing little InfoSec meetups where we try and teach crypto bros to not suck so much at security. And I got to hack a Bitcoin ATM at one of these, so that was fun. And what else do we got? Altkey is still looking for a job. Somebody hire her. Please. Sledge also, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And Delchai as well, even though he's got one. And what else are we going to plug before we shut it off?
I'm at a blank.
Well, blank it is. So with that, we shall play the outro as soon as I can find which one of them this freaking file is. And just play a random one.
All right, hackers and cyber warriors, it's time to encrypt this episode and send it out into the digital ether. Thank you to Sledge, Delchi, CrowdStrong, and Altkey for another epic nerd out session. And a special thanks to our guests for joining us. And to all our listeners out there in the cyber trenches, patch fast, encrypt tight, lock down your ports, and leave no backdoor open. Hunt threats like it's open season. Keep your passwords long, your MFA enabled. Don't use SMS as a second factor. Keep your malware signatures up to date, your critical data backed up, and your network locked down like Fort Knox. Until our next PunFest, stay vigilant, stay curious, and above all, stay CounterSurveil. Whether you're pen testing networks or hardening your own defenses, remember, in the game of cybersecurity, you're either the hunter or the hunted. So sharpen those skills, mask those IPs, and we'll see you on the dark side of the net. This is CounterSurveil, where we turn paranoia into preparation, shutting down but never logging off.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.